You should. You should is often used to put limits on you. You should get married, you should have kids, you should do this, you should do that. But you should actually set me free. You see, I grew up in not the greatest part of town, not the most expensive part of town, but a hard-working area with two younger brothers and a mum and dad who worked many hours to give us what we needed. And I grew up quite ordinary. I grew up chasing butterflies, full of magic, full of wonder, full of hope. And school kind of burst that a little bit. But one of my teachers said, you should consider going to the local grammar school. So I did my 11 plus and got through, had a wonderful time. You should consider going to university. Did the same, had a wonderful time. Just kind of drifted my way through, got a law degree from an amazing university, worked my socks off, worked every hour that I could to afford the education that I had. But when it came to careers, I drifted a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I did well. I was always quite bright. I went for opportunity after opportunity and worked in an environment where lots of restructures going on. So I had the chance to fly high. I got engaged, I moved around the country, lived in a seaside town, but something was missing. Something was really missing. Over the summer, we joined a rowing club just to hang out and be part of the new community. And had a whale of a time. It's more social than rowing. But over the winter, we joined a gym to kind of keep that group cohesion together. And it was there that the next You Should landed. You should compete. I've been on one of those rowing machines and I knew I was strong, I knew I could work hard, but the instructor at the gym said, you should compete. And you think, what? No. So I looked at the times and realised that actually I was quite fast. Why not give it a go? So I did the South of England race in Portsmouth. I was so nervous. Took my family there. Took us hours to drive and all the bickering in the background. But we gave it a go. Just so many people there. Nervous, the build-up. What the hell was I doing here? I wasn't a rower. What was I doing? But let's give it a go. And I won the race. And what was crazier than that is in the next regional, I won that race. And then the next one, I won that race. And it just didn't make sense. How could I, not knowing this sport, not being built for it, in my late 20s, so not even been doing it since a teenage, how could I start winning? And then the stakes got even higher. You see, you start to get known and then people want to beat you in the race. Yeah, and kind of I had no idea about diet, I had no idea about exercise. I had the chance to take part in the World Championships in Boston. How the hell am I going to get to Boston? Of course, that was the time when I lent on my teammates the most. We organised a raffle, we organised a party, I was on Radio Cornwall, I was in the newspaper just trying to raise funds, knocking door to door trying to get hold of prizes. But I managed to scrabble together the funds, managed to get the flight over to Boston, and it was just absolutely incredible. So Steve Redgrave was the team captain, an absolute legend, Olympic legend, a sir, and he was our team captain. And again, this huge imposter syndrome was like, who am I to be here? I've only been doing it for 5 minutes. And I remember how nervous I'd been looking around the hall with 200 machines around and me, part of Team GB in a sport just 6 months before I didn't know that I could do. And it was incredible. When you have the off, you look around, the adrenaline hits, you pull, you get going, you get faster, you feel knackered. I actually kind of been training really hard, getting there. And I came 16th in the whole world. And it was amazing. 7 minutes and 9 to do 2,000 meters. I'd spent months building up the money to fly across the Atlantic for 7 minutes, but now top 20 heavyweight women in the world. It's just incredible. It's at that point that everything changed. You see, you can't be an imposter when you're top 20 in the world. And I realised that actually I'd made that happen. I'd put in the hours, I'd done the races, I'd done the challenges, but I made it happen. And that's what shaped everything from there on in. I put myself forward for even bigger, crazier challenges. I helped others to see what was really possible, and that went through to business strategy, to how I develop my teams, how I develop myself, how I develop my others. It was all based on somebody else's you should. Mental.